President Donald Trump says he has obligation to sue BBC over speech edit. U.S. President Donald Trump has said he has an obligation to sue the BBC over the way a section of his speech was edited in a Panorama documentary. Speaking to Fox News, he said his 6th January 2021 speech had been butchered and the way it was presented had defrauded viewers. It is the first time Trump has spoken publicly about the matter since his lawyers wrote to the BBC and said he would sue for $1 billion, £759 million, in damages unless the corporation issues a retraction, apologizes, and compensates him. BBC Chair Samir Shah has previously apologized for an error of judgment over the edit. Appearing on Fox News' The Ingraham Angle, the president was asked if he would go ahead with the lawsuit, responding, "Well, I guess I have to, you know. Why not? Because they defrauded the public and they've admitted it." Trump continued, "They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible." Asked again if he would proceed with the legal action, he said, "Well, I think I have an obligation to do it because you can't allow people to do that." The Fox News interview was recorded on Monday, though the section concerning the BBC was not published by Fox News until late on Tuesday evening in the U.S. The BBC received the letter from Trump's lawyers on Sunday. It demands a full and fair retraction of the documentary, an apology, and that the BBC appropriately compensate President Trump for the harm caused. It sets a deadline of 2200 GMT, 1700 EST on Friday for the corporation to respond. The BBC has said it will respond in due course. BBC News has contacted the BBC for comment on the president's latest remarks. Since returning to the White House, Trump has made legal threats against other media outlets over their coverage of him. He settled with both CBS News and ABC News after receiving large payouts, and has sought to take legal action against the New York Times. The BBC edit appeared in a Panorama documentary, which aired days before the U.S. presidential election in November 2024, but only generated significant public scrutiny after a leaked internal BBC memo was published by the Daily Telegraph newspaper last week. In the memo, a former independent external advisor to the BBC's Editorial Standards Committee raised concerns that a section of the speech had been edited in a way which suggested the president explicitly encouraged the Capitol riot of January 2021. Trump actually said, "We're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women." However, in the Panorama edit, he was shown saying, "We're going to walk down to the Capitol and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell."